My name's Angelo, and welcome to We Want Picks. This is the only channel dedicated to UFC fight picks and DraftKings lineups run by MMA insiders and professional fighters. Every week, I join Dan Kramer and Nick Newell, two longtime professional fighters that have fought at the highest levels on the planet, as well as Jacob Lyons, a skinny kid from Indiana. So join us every single week for our full fight card breakdowns, our individual fight card breakdowns, our betting guide, and our DraftKings lineups. UFC Vegas 30, Gane versus Volkov, or Gane or Gane versus Volkov, is Saturday. It starts very early, so we are getting our bets in very early. We're going to walk you through our early bets for UFC Vegas 30. I will go first. Again, these are our early bets. We are coming back on Friday night with new bets and different bets based off of things that we've learned through the week and how weigh-ins go, what people look like. Right out of the gate, I have 4 different money line bets on this card. I love this card for underdogs. I think there are more live underdogs on this card than any other card I can think of in recent times. I have Alexander Volkov at plus 150. I think he's very, very live in this fight. Styles make fights. His very long, rangy striking style with volume and just his sheer MMA experience, I think is going to be a problem for Gane here. Over in St. Preux, I have him at plus 150. Dan, you disagree with that pick, but I think St. Preux just has more ways to win. He's more technical. This is at heavyweight instead of light heavyweight. But if you watch his fight versus Ben Rothwell at heavyweight, he didn't look that bad. The issue was the volume. But I think Tanner Boser, his opponent, is going to be in his face and force volume out of Ovince St. Preux. And in that case, he'll get it done. I took that at plus 150, but I only put a half a unit on that. Then I have Kennedy and Chuck Wu. He opened as an underdog, but all of us were smart enough to know that. I was a little late to the party. The line flipped, but I still have him. I still took him. I got him at minus 130. I know you can get some better ones out there. That line's moving like absolute crazy. But I put a full unit on that. It's striker versus grappler, but I think his takedown defense is good enough, and he will get a stoppage in this fight. I also, if you look down, I bet the over on rounds. So that's a little contradictory there, but I'll explain that in a second. And then I have Timur Valiev at plus 175. Big-time underdog, but his wrestling is so strong that I think he absolutely gets it done, utilizes the wrestling, controls his opponent, and gets it done. His opponent is good everywhere, but wrestling dictates where fight goes and what you do with those fights. So I think he'll get the takedown and control the positions and win that decision. Then I have a few prop bets here. I have Andre Fili versus Daniel Pineda under 2.5 rounds at plus 105. I do think there's a finish there. Daniel Pineda comes out guns blazing in every fight and has 100% finish rate on both sides, win, loss. The dude does not see decisions. So I think Daniel Pineda either knocks out Andre Fili or gets exhausted and then gets stopped. Either way, the under on rounds was 2.5 rounds, and I got plus money on that. If you wanted to bet fight does not go decision, that's minus money. And yes, you get an extra 2.5 minutes, but I'd rather have plus money and do the under on rounds instead of fight does not go to decision. Then I mentioned I have Nchukwu and Marquez over 1.5 rounds. So I do think Nchukwu wins this fight, and I think he wins by stoppage, but he's not a fast starter by any means. He takes his time, he gauges the fight, and his opponent's going to be looking for takedowns, and they're not going to be easy to get. And even if he does get them, Nchukwu's going to be working his way back up. So I think we have no problem getting over 1.5 rounds. So I took that. I think that's the only round line on this card that is not 2.5. So 1.5, I'll go the over all day. Minus 150, I would have preferred a little better, but I took that. Then I have Moicano Herbert over 2.5 rounds at minus 120. I think Moicano is phenomenal. I know, Dan, you probably thinks he gets a submission, but I do, Herbert is tough. I think these guys go at it. I like the over on rounds there. So I have Moicano Herbert over 2.5 rounds. I think, I think it probably is a decision here. And then I have Timur Valiev. I mentioned before, I have him straight money line, but just in case, because this is an incredibly tough fight, just in case, I also hedged there with a 3.5 point differential bet. What that means is all Timur Valiev has to do is win one single round on the cards, and I win my bet. He can lose a decision, but win one round, and I'll win the bet. And he absolutely will win a single round, especially with that wrestling. I think he wins the whole fight, but just in case, you're only going to get those 3.5 bets here. You're only going to get them here. BetOnline is the only place that offers them, and you need to go to WeWantPicks.com/bets. Click one of the options for your free money and place a 3.5 bet. Those are mine. Danny boy, why don't you walk us through what you got going on?
Yeah, so this is what I got so far in the week. As you know, I will be looking for a few more throughout the week, but this is what I saw early, based on taping the last, 3, 4 days. So first up, I got Justin James. I got him earlier at plus 147. We talked about in our breakdown. I think stylistically, he's got power. He comes forward. He's aggressive. And Charles Rosa, very talented kid, but he's been more of a karate style. He keeps his hands low and he's hittable. I think if it goes to the ground, things could get a little dicey, but I think Justin James can control where the fight goes because he's the better wrestler of the two. So plus 147 felt like a really good bet to me. I think the line has moved in his favor, so you're probably still looking at plus 120, plus 130, but I like him. I like him at those odds. Then I got Kennedy and Chuck Woo minus 105. I bet this a little earlier in the week. I wish I'd jumped on this, a week and a half ago when he was plus money. But I'm going up against Danilo Marquez again. He burned me last time. I had Mike Rodriguez. I thought there was no way in the world that Mike Rodriguez could lose that fight, and he did. So I'm doubling down. I got Kennedy and Chukwu to win this one, minus 105. All he's got to do is defend takedowns, and he should win the fight. Then I got some prop bets. So I got Ike Villanueva wins inside the distance. If it goes to a decision, no action, plus money. So I think Ike Villanueva, this is a bit of a coin flip fight in my mind. They're both not the most technical strikers, but they both hit hard. I just think Ike Villanueva hits a little harder and has a little bit better of a chin. And I think in a back and forth trading punch contest, he's going to be the last man standing. So I put 3/4 unit on that at plus 145. And if for some reason it goes to a decision, I get my money back. Then I got Vila Stoliarenko plus 3.5. So that should actually read Stoliarenko is getting plus 3.5 points. Still gets plus 200. So I think Stoliarenko is a little bit underrated in this fight. She comes out guns blazing. She's tough. If you look at some of her old fights in Invicta and some of the other organizations, she is very tough and she comes out very aggressive. So all she's got to do is have one close round that she wins, and I cash my bet at plus 200. That was a no-brainer to me. I don't think Avila will finish her. I think Avila could win the fight, but I think it'll be more technical and that first round, honestly, I think is going to be a complete barn burner. So plus 3.5, plus 200 felt like a great value to me. I got a unit on that. Then Tanner Boser wins by decision, plus 175. I think that Tanner Boser is just going to be a faster, legit heavyweight, as opposed to OSP, who's kind of bounced around between weight divisions. And honestly, both weight classes, he's looked a little bit sluggish. So I think Boser is going to get the volume. I think Boser is going to be the more technical striker, stay away from the big shots, counter shots. And I don't think OSP has the wrestling to get the fight to the ground. So I see Tanner Boser winning a decision, call it a point match, but I think he'll win that. So at plus 175, I got a half a unit there. And then my parlay, still alive. This is going back a couple weeks to our Paul Craig pick. I did a parlay with him and Justin James at plus 721. So I got a unit on that. So if Justin James wins, that will be a nice little payday. So that's what I got so far. I'm going to be looking to add a few more throughout the week, so definitely check back Friday night, late Friday night, right, Angelo?
Yeah,
Uh,
we'll get it all up Friday night because the fights start super early on Saturday. So depending on time zone, you button by Friday.
yeah, you're breaking up. You got to pay your internet bill. Um, anyways, yeah, Friday night, or maybe we'll talk about doing a Thursday something to get it out earlier. Saturday fight card is at noon, so we'll get up as soon as
Yeah.
we can with our final bets, our final DraftKings. But lots of opportunities this week, I think, to make some money. So check it out, enjoy the fights, and you do the whole thing. WeWantPicks.com. Hit them with it, Angela.
Yeah, so check out WeWantPicks.com/bets. There's multiple options for free money. Hit that up. This is the only way you're going to get some of these bets. The +3.5 and the wins inside the distance, decision, no action. These are the only place you're going to get these prop bets. Especially note the day. We're filming this Tuesday night. You're going to see it Wednesday. These are early. These prop lines are out nice and early, so you could jump on them and get some favorable odds. The fights are super early on Saturday, like Dan said. So we'll get our final bets. So we're going to add to these. We'll get our final bets out to you on Friday night to make sure you're buttoned up and ready to go. Check out the website. Let us know your picks and plays this week. I love hearing your guys' bet because I steal them all the time. So anyway, we will see you on Saturday. Thank you very much for the watch.